Welcome back, Finer Things Club. League owners, 6 weeks in the books, and we have only one 6-0 team. Shout out to Prince Family Paper. We'll talk more about that later. Hope everyone is doing well. We got lots to discuss. Got another person removed and voted off the tribe for our Survivor contest. News. No side pot jackpot winner this week. Matt and Lance, what are you doing? And then we got some other things to discuss, like who ruined the program, who's the hero award, and who's our top scoring team this week, and so much more to discuss. But before we do any of that, let's get into that rundown, shall
Do
we?
you have a rundown that I could take a look at just so I know what type of rundown you're looking for?
Just keep it simple.
Keeping it simple, that's what I'm doing. But I am working hard on this one, real hard.
You're working hard on this,
No, not too hard, not harder than I should.
right? I mean, why work harder than you should?
No,
All right, we got our Thursday night matchup. The number 4 team at 3-2, Jans Cans, taking on the last place number 10 team, Uncle Creepies, at 0-5. Desperately looking for the win. Is this the week he finally does it? Absolutely not. Jans Cans with a decisive 147-108 victory. Congrats to Frank for at least breaking 100 this week. On to Jans Cans lineup for the week. Patrick Mahomes, Steady Eddie, not so elite in the statistics, but very consistent nonetheless. 19 points a game this week for Patrick Mahomes. He does go over 300 yards in the air, throws a touchdown, also throws a pick, and picks up 31 yards rushing on the ground. Austin Ekeler returns here on Monday night against the Cowboys. Very inefficient on the ground, 14 carries, 27 yards, but picks up 4 catches for 35, going 10 points on the day. Alvin Kamara, 17 points, doing it on the ground at 68 yards rushing, but also 36 yards receiving. Tyreek Hill, the man cannot be stopped, doing a backflip with someone else's phone in the hands. Dude is the stud, is just the total package. 6 catches, 163 yards, a receiving touchdown, 2 of them going over 40 yards in the air for a bonus, and 1 of them being a touchdown. Stephon Diggs, a perfect and just completely even 10 catches for 100 yards. Just a nice crisp box score for Stephon Diggs. 20 points even on 10 catches and 100 yards for Stephon Diggs. Evan Ingram, 7 catches, 41 yards, 11 points on the day for the Jaguars tight end. Tyler Lockett, 15 points, 6 catches, 94 yards. Tyler Lockett and Associates doing it both in real estate and on the gridiron. And then lastly, Josh Palmer, 10 points even for 4 catches, 60 yards. On to Frank's team, Dak Prescott with a big day, 25 points, by far his best game of the year, both probably in real life and in fantasy. Goes 272 yards in the air, throws a touchdown, also rushes for a touchdown, 7 carries for 40 yards for Dak. On to his running back, Ramondre Stevenson, with a good game. Does get hurt, though. 10 carries, 46 yards, and a touchdown. 5 receptions, 24 yards in the air. Rashee Rice goes over double digits for 11.2 points, 4 catches, 72 yards. Brandon Cooks, 4 catches, 36 yards, and a touchdown for 15 points. Lastly, for him, the only other person to score double digits is Jerome Ford. 17 carries, 84 yards, picks up 2 receptions for 7 yards and 11 points on the day. It's not good enough for Frank as Team Uncle Creepies goes to 0-6. Jans Cans picked up another win, and they are now 4-2. And we move to our Sunday 1 p.m. matchup as the number 17 Jake's team, Mr. Poop, at 2-3, takes on the number 1 team, Lance, the only undefeated team of the season. 5-0, Prince Family Paper. Does he hold on to his undefeated streak? He absolutely does in a crushing victory, 176-117, as Lance gets a big victory over Jake's Mr. Poop. Let's start with his quarterback, Lamar Jackson. In London, Pip Pip, cheerio. 223 yards in the air, 1 touchdown, a pick as well. 13 carries, 62 yards on the day. DeAndre Swift, what a pleasant surprise for the Prince Family Paper running back. Number 7 running back in all of fantasy football, adds another 17.8 points. Looks pretty bad on the ground, 10 carries, 18 yards, less than 2 yards per carry, but adds 8 catches for 40 yards and a touchdown. Does also lose a fumble as well. Christian McCaffrey scores a touchdown. I know we're all surprised, but does not look super great. 11 carries, 43 yards, 3 catches for only 9 yards, but one of them being a touchdown, and also leaves with an injury. 14 points on the day, though, before he does that. So solid outing still for the Prince Family Paper running back. Drake London, have a day. 21.5 points. By far the most he scored all season. 9 catches for 125 yards in the air. Garrett Wilson, 8 catches, 90 yards, 17 points. Cooper Kupp, 28.8 points. Welcome back, Cooper Kupp. 7 catches, 148 yards, and a touchdown. One of his catches going over 40 yards for a bonus point. 9 catches for the Kansas City tight end, Mr. Travis Kelce. 9 catches, 124 yards. One of them going for over 40 yards for a bonus. 22 points on his day. Keenan Allen, another guy who has just really stepped up this year in fantasy football. The number 4 wide receiver in all fantasy football. 7 catches, 85 yards, and a tutty. And that is it for the guys that have scored over double digits. Again, just an impressive outing for Prince Family Paper. 176 points. On to Mr. Poop, Joe Burrow, only 13 points on the day, 185 yards, but 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. Does not eclipse the 200-yard passing statistic, but does throw for 2 touchdowns to get him at least 13 points. Isaiah Pacheco, another strong performance for him. 15.8 points, 16 carries, 62 yards, 6 catches for 36 yards on the day. David Montgomery is his shining star on his team. Goes out early with an injury, so only picks up 4 points, 6 carries, 14 yards. Brandon Ayuk, 4 catches, 76 yards for 11.6 on the day. Jonnu Smith picks up a touchdown, 4 catches, 36 yards, and 13 points on the day in what is appearing to be one of the best Atlanta Falcons players in fantasy football this season. Brian Robinson in the flex, 13.6 points, only 10 carries for 31 yards, but picks up a touchdown in the air for 2 catches and 25 yards. Dalton Schultz, 4 catches, 61 yards, and a touchdown, 16 points for him. And then lastly, Chuba Hubbard. Pretty good day, 16 points, 19 carries, 88 yards, and a rushing touchdown. It's not enough. Mr. Poop moves to 2-4. Prince Family Paper stays undefeated at 6-0. And we go to the Sunday 4 p.m. matchup. The number 1 team. The number 1 team. Despite with the loss, says Power Rankings ranks him number 1. Krentis the Dentist at 4-1, taking on the number 8 team, James's team. Threat level Midnight at 1-4. James desperately looking for a win despite the uphill battle it was going to be, and yikes. James does not eclipse the 100-point barrier this week. Takes the big loss against Krentis the Dentist, 144-92. Starting with Krentis the Dentist, we got Josh Allen, who for his standards is a very below average outing. Only 169 yards in the air, does throw 2 touchdowns, but 1 pick on the day for only 13 points. Travis Etienne, this guy, number 3 running back on the season, 23.3 points, 18 carries, 55 yards, 2 rushing touchdowns, 3 catches for 28 yards. That is outdone, however, by the Miami Dolphins running back, who is having a career year. Raheem Mostert at 31 years old, having the best season of his life. 35 points on the day, 17 carries for 115 yards, 2 tutties. Then we got 3 catches, 17 yards, and another touchdown in the air for 3 total touchdowns, and that is how you get to 35 points. Jordan Addison in the absence of Justin Jefferson, still only 3 catches, 28 yards, but does salvage the day with a touchdown, so puts him on for 11.8 points. Jamar Chase, 6 catches, 80 yards for 14 points. DJ Moore, 5 catches, 51 yards, 10.10 points. And then to finalize the guys with over 10 points is Breece Hall, 12 carries, 39 yards, but gets a rushing touchdown and adds 5 catches for 54 yards in the air. 20.3 points on the day for him. On to Thread Level Midnight. Tua Tagovailoa, 25 points. This guy is killing it on the season. Amounts almost for a third of Threat Level Midnight's total points on the day. 262 yards, 3 touchdowns. Throws one for over 40 yards on the day. Christian Kirk, 13.9 points, 3 catches, 49 yards, and a touchdown. Touchdown salvages his day in fantasy. Nico Collins, 4 catches, 80 yards, 12 points on the day. And finally, Curtis Samuel, 4 catches, 42 yards, and a touchdown for 14 points. It's not nearly enough, as Threat Level Midnight is 1-5. Prentice Dentist picks up a win, going 5-1, and we go to the Sunday Night Football matchup. Number 9 team in the power rankings, despite his 3-2 record, JT's, they call me Toby, takes on the number 5 team, Jordan's, the Hay Kings, at 3-2, and what needs to be a statement for They Call Me Toby ends up being a disappointing performance as he fails to break 100 points on the day. The Hay Kings pick up an easy victory, going 143-99 over JT's They Call Me Toby. Jared Goff having a great day, 25 points, goes 353 yards in the air, 2 touchdowns, one of them being over 40 yards for the bonus point on the day. Derrick Henry, welcome back, looking streaky this season. This week, though, it looks good. 20 points, 12 carries, 97 yards, and a rushing touchdown. Also picks up 2 catches for 16 yards in the air. Kenneth Walker, 19 carries, 62 yards, and a touchdown. Picks up 3 catches for 27 yards in the air. 17.9 points on the day for him. DK Metcalf, 10.9 points, 4 catches, 69 yards. Amari Cooper adds 15 points, going 4 catches, 108 yards, one of them being a 40-plus yard reception. Chris Godwin, 6 catches, 77 yards, and 13.7 points for him. TJ Hawkinson, going 11.6 catches, 50 yards. Josh Jacobs, 11.3 points, 25 carries for 77 yards, 2 catches for 16 yards. And lastly, Saquon Barkley, 24 carries, 93 yards, 4 catches for only 5 yards. But it is a PPR league, and Jordan's team only had one guy not go over double digits. None of them really breaking out and shining for like that big 30-point game, but they all go for at least 10 points except for Cole Kmet, and that is how you get to 143 points. On to JT's They Call Me Toby. It is tough sledding. Justin Fields goes out with an injury, only putting up 4.92 points. He does get a big performance from Amon-Ra St. Brown, going 30 points on the day, 12 catches, 124 yards, and a touchdown. Chris Olave picks up 16 for They Call Me Toby, doing 7 receptions, 96 yards. Mark Andrews, 4 catches, 69 yards, 10.9 points, and that is it for guys who went over double digits. If you're counting, that's only 3 of them, and that is how you struggle to score. Sorry, JTs, They Call Me Toby, you pick up the loss. You move to 3-3. Jordan's, the Hay Kings, picks up the win, moving to 4-2, and we move to the final matchup of the week, of week 6. And that is the number 16, that's Dallas at 1-4, taking on my team, Captain Bruisin, at number 3 at 3-2. That's Dallas desperately needing the win to stay in it, and he gets it in a narrow victory, the most narrow margin of victory on the week. It is a victory for That's Dallas at 134-129. Starting with Kyler's That's Dallas is Kyren Williams, and welcome to the team That's Dallas. Kyren Williams immediately slotted into the starting lineup, picks up 20 carries, 158 yards, and a touchdown, and also an injury, but puts up 21.8 points on the day. Jalen Waddle, 7 catches, 51 yards, and a touchdown for 18 on the day. Another acquisition for That's Dallas this week is Adam Thielen, and he's also plugged right into the starting lineup. Puts up a cool 28.5 points, 11 catches for 115 yards, and a touchdown. 28.5 points. I think I just said that. A.J. Brown, 7 catches, 131 yards, one of them going for over 40 plus yards, and the bonus point, that's good for 21 points on the day. Lastly, CeeDee Lamb on Monday Night Football, 7 catches, 117 yards, 18.7 points. It is just enough as Captain Bruisin fails to get 134, scores only 129 points. Starts Matt Stafford with 14.24 points, 226 yards in the air, and a touchdown. Couple of touchdowns dropped by those wide receivers, one of them including Puka Nacua. Bijan Robinson with 13 points, very inefficient rushing, 13 carries, 37 yards, but adds 5 catches for 43 yards in the air. Tony Pollard, Monday Night Football, 18 points, 15 carries, 30 yards, so only 2 yards per carry, but adds 6 catches for 80 yards, one of them being the big one towards the end. I don't want to talk about it. Zay Flowers, 6 catches, 50 yards, and a touchdown, 17 points on the day for him. Scary Terry McLaurin, 6 catches, 81 yards, 14 points on the day for Terry McLaurin. Kyle Pitts scores a touchdown, his first one of the season. 14 points, 4 catches, 43 yards, and the receiving touchdown. Lastly, two last guys. Alexander Madison, 18 carries, 44 yards, 4 catches, 28 yards for 11 points. And finally, Jacoby Myers against his former team, the New England Patriots, 5 catches, 61 yards, and the touchdown, scoring 17 points. Captain Bruisin falls to 3-3. That's Dallas picks up the much-needed win, going to 2-4, and that, gentlemen, is our rundown. All right. Well, the matchups this week were pretty chalk, and at least in my eyes, every team that was favored to win won. I believe going into the matchup, my matchup with Kyler's That's Dallas was close to a 50-50, if not 50-50. So, and it went about, down to the wire. But every other matchup went as planned, as advertised, no scares of any kind. And of course, now Lance is at 6-0, trying to go for the record set by the defending champion Haykings 9-0 start to a season, although that did not happen in his championship year. That happened 2 years ago in 2021. So Prince Family Paper well on their way to securing a playoff spot after a disappointing finish last year. It looks like, barring some catastrophic finish, he is going to lock in his place into the playoffs rather quickly. Other notable things. It got brought up on the chat, and I think it's worth discussing. We talked about the David Montgomery trade Jake made in the offseason, which was a fantastic one. Hopefully his injury is short-lived, but a trade we need to talk about in the offseason is another running back, and that is Raheem Mostert. At 31 years old, is having the season of a lifetime. In his 6 weeks, he has put up 13, 27, 45, 5-point week, 15, and 35 points. Today, he is the number 2 running back in all of PPR fantasy football, putting up 23 points per game. Only beat out by CMC for the most points scored this season by a running back in fantasy football. Matt Wishon of Crentis the Dentist traded for Raheem Mostert almost a year ago to the date next week from Nate Hyde, Jans Cans. Matt traded a 23-second, which ended up being Zach Charbonnet for Raheem Mostert. Now, only time will tell if Charbonnet, was worthy of that swap. But Nate then went on to trade that pick anyway. But Raheem Mostert for a 23-second is now the number 2 running back on the season. The only question anybody would have about Raheem Mostert is, can he stay healthy? But what a trade and what a move by Crentis the dentist. And so, yeah, let's go ahead and get into the rest of the recap. Well, real quick, 0-6. So we have a 6-0 and an 0-6 team. Anything else notable is there's really 3 tiers of teams that we see. Frank's kind of in a tier of his own, and then there's 2 tiers. And so we'll discuss that more in the power rankings. But before we get to the power rankings, let's talk about who ruined the program this week.
There's Paul Johnson right there. Ruined our program, and that's all right. He's still here.
Ruin the program this week, in my eyes, is a fairly easy one. The only close matchup of any kind was my matchup against That's Dallas. I hate being featured in Ruin the Program because that means I lost. And there is really 2 candidates. There's Calvin Ridley, who scored 6 points, projected 14.5. And then there's T. Higgins. But to me, the more deserving choice is Mr. T. Higgins. Unsweet T. Higgins. Nasty. 2 catches for 20 yards. Calvin Ridley at least put up 4 catches. Kind of disappointing day, but his team won pretty decisively. Calvin really did put up more points. So T. Higgins, sir, had you put up even close to the projected amount, your team, Captain Bruisin, would have won. You only needed 5.5 more points. Yeah, I only needed you to score 10 points, T. Higgins, and you didn't do it. You, sir, ruined the program this week.
I saved a life. My own. Am I a hero? I really can't say, but yeah.
Be your hero, baby. All right, that's enough of that. Let me know in the chat. Should that be the new hero sound effect going into this segment, or should we keep it real and consistent with the Office theme? Let me know. Give a like and subscribe. I'm just kidding. Let me know in the chat, though, what you think. Be curious. This week's Hero Award stays within the Monday Night Football matchup between Captain Bruisin and That's Dallas. But this one goes to the other side. That's Dallas side. And it goes to a guy who has been on the team for literally a few days, and that is Mr. Adam Thielen. Adam Thielen was acquired this week, plugged right into the lineup. He was acquired for just Jahan Dotson, and in return gets Adam Thielen and a 25-second, and immediately impacts the team. 28.5 points for Adam Thielen. He goes 11 catches for 115 yards and a touchdown, carrying That's Dallas to a victory. Overwhelmingly the top guy on the team for That's Dallas this week. And what a high-impact move. Great GMing work on the behalf of Kyler Parkinson. We'll see how it fares out for the rest of this year and beyond. But for this week, he is the Hero Award winner, Adam Thielen. Want to know what you're playing for? That's right, $100 is on the line for the team who can outwit, outlast, and outplay the other teams in the Finer Things Club League. Last week, we sent Jordan's, the Hay Kings, home. The tribe had spoken, and he was removed. This week, we have to say goodbye to yet another owner in the Survivor contest. And this week, it is not Uncle Creepy's, and it isn't even JT's, they call me Toby, who scored less than 100 points, because there was one team who scored even less than JT, and that is James, Threat Level Midnight, with a sad 92-point performance. Nearly a third of his points were scored by his quarterback, Tua Tagovailoa. There were only 2 other guys three other guys on his team that scored double digits. He got only 7 from Robert Woods, Mr. Trees, Bobby Trees. He got 1 from Logan Thomas, 3 from Gabe Davis, 1 from Deebo Samuel, and both of his running backs scored 6 and 7 points. That is not enough. James Sir, tried to spoken, I believe.
Why not, man? I'm coming for that #1 spot. All right. Rappers swearing they own top. But I'm coming for that #1 spot. All right, man. Scheme, plot. Say what? I'm coming for that #1 spot. Hey,
The power rankings after 6 weeks. I think we got a little bit of controversy here, but before we talk about the new power rankings, let's recap what they were last week. Coming in at number 10 was Uncle Creepy's at 0-5. Number 9 was JT's, They Call Me Toby. Number 8 was James's Threat Level Midnight. Number 7, Jake, Mr. Poop. Number 6, Kyler's That's Dallas. Number 5, Jordan's The Hate Kings. Number 4, Nate's Jan's Cans. Number 3, my team Captain Bruisin. Number 2, Lance's Prince Family Paper. And number 1 was Matt's Crentist the Dentist. This week, nothing has changed fundamentally on the bottom. The same 10, 9, and 8, and 7 teams remain. Actually, 6 through 10 remain. That is Frank all the way at the bottom at 0-6. Number 10, Uncle Creepy's. And there are really 3 tiers here. Frank in a tier all to himself at the bottom, separated by almost 500 power ranking points. To put that into perspective, 500 points is the largest gap of any of the power ranking points of the remaining 9 teams. That shows you just how much worse he is compared to the rest of the league. Number 9 is still JT at 3-3. They Call Me Toby in the number 9 spot. JT in the number 9 spot at 3-3 is behind a 1-5 team, both of the 2-4 teams, and the other 3-3 team. Still getting disrespected, but the power rankings may know something we do not. Number 8, James at 1-5, ahead of They Call Me Toby. Threat Level Midnight in the number 8 spot. He is behind number 7, Jake's Mr. Poop at 2-4. Number 6 is still That's Dallas. Picks up the win this week against my team Captain Bruisin, who was number 3 last week. Still remains the same in number 6 at 2-4. And then we have the Hay Kings at 4-2 still in number 5. That is behind my team, Captain Bruisin, at number 4 with 3-3 with a 3-3 record. Although less than 100 points separate my team and the Hay Kings. And that is Nate finally can stop whining as his team passes mine in the power rankings for the number 3 spot at 4-2. And here is where I believe some controversy, again, outside of They Call Me Toby's power ranking score, is Lance at 6-0 in the number 2 spot. Prince Family Paper, it is not like he has won some cheapies. He has really earned his 6 wins, but it is not enough for the power rankings. Less than 100 points separate him and the number 1 team yet again, Matt's Crentist the Dentist at 5-1, but number 1 in the power rankings. To summarize, number 10, Uncle Creepy's. Number 9, They Call Me Toby. Number 8, Threat Level Midnight. Number 7, Mr. Poop. Number 6, That's Dallas. Number 5, the Hay Kings. Number 4, Captain Bruisin. Number 3, Jan's Cans. Number 2, Prince Family Paper. And number 1, Crentist the Dentist.
Comprehension skills, subpar.
Interviewing skills, subpar. What are you writing? Can't even give Cornell your full attention.
On the contrary, I'm helping Cornell by evaluating their interviewers.
Nobody wants that to happen.
Well, when they get my evaluation, we'll see if they're interested.
Applicant is attempting to blackmail interviewer showing low moral character.
Interviewer is threatening applicant with an arbitrary review process.
Applicant is wasting everyone's time with stupid and inane accusations.
Interviewer has suspect motives.
Applicant has a head shaped like a trapezoid.
Interviewer has turned off applicant's interest in Cornell, and they are going to go to the vastly superior Dartmouth. Ever heard of it? I think I have everything
I have
need.
everything I
You will
need.
be hearing from the
And
Cornell
you will be hearing
application
from the
department.
Cornell
You will not be
application
pleased with
department.
the
And you
result.
will not be pleased with the
And
result.
your
And
affiliation
your
with Cornell
affiliation with
will
Cornell
end
will
completely.
Completely.
Hello and welcome back to this week's edition of our owner interview. And you may have been anticipating it, but I have the honor of introducing none other than the owner of Prince Family Paper, Mr. Lance Batiste. Welcome to the recap, sir.
What's up, man? It's good to be here. Good to be here.
I'm excited. You're here. 6-0 this week. Now
Yes,
for
sir.
6 weeks, you're flying through the Finer Things Club. You've got what I think is a very winnable matchup this week again. You've taken down what the power rankings have deemed to be the number one team in Crentis, the dentist. How are you feeling after the first 6 weeks of the season?
I feel good, man. My team has a lot of depth. You know, I feel good. You know, as long as my team stays healthy, I don't think we could be messed with, to be honest. So I'm good.
It is a force, man. I mean, the depth is real. The star power, firepower, all of it is real, man. This week's power rankings, though, man, I want to hear from you. They still have Matt Crentis, the dentist, ever so slightly ahead of you in the number one spot. Do you feel like you're? Yeah. Do you feel like you're being disrespected by the power rankings?
No, man. I think it's appropriate. You know, he had that crazy week last week, so you know it's. I expected it. He's got more points than me, but make no mistake, I am the one in his 5-1, and so I ain't worried about it. As long as I'm 6-0, he's 5-1, I'm good.
Yeah, you did get the head-to-head matchup, so that is what is most matters. You're the top scoring team this week. You've won the side pot multiple times now this year. Looking
twice.
at your lineup, man. So how many times? I'm sorry, what was that?
No, I just say I got it twice, man.
Twice,
I'm doing good.
It's incredible what your team is doing this week or this year. This week, you start Drake London. He goes off.
Right.
You've got like so many guys on your team. I feel like are guys that I think we've waited for to really pop, and now they're popping. And then you even got Cooper Kupp, who I think there was a healthy fear that maybe he wasn't ready, but he has certainly came back to himself. Is there anybody on your team that you are looking more for out of in their performances? Is there a guy that you need to step up?
If I was to say anybody, man, it'd probably be James Cook. He's just kind of, I don't know, bro. He's just low-end RB2, and so that's really all I need from him. I don't need him to be spectacular. I just need him to be consistent. But I hear that, what's the dude just went to go to Buffalo, and he's trying out for them. I don't know, man. I keep on wanting to say LeGarrette Blount, but I know that's not who it is. It's the other dude.
He kind of look the same at this point in his career.
Right. And so I don't know. And so James Cook, I wish I could get more from. He is what he is. So I don't know. But everybody else, man, honestly, my boy, and Lamar Jackson, honestly, bro, that trade is kind of pissing me off, because I got rid of Kirk and Tua for Lamar, and Lamar has not been returning the value that I hoped that he would have. So that's been those two, I would say, I need a little bit more from.
Yeah, man.
I mean, I think that's more of a first world problem in the fantasy, in fantasy life. I mean, but I asked you the question. So, is there a guy though that you've been like, man, as advertised, or even pleasantly surprised you? I mean, I got to think DeAndre Swift has got to be on the top of that list. No.
Yeah, Swift is good, but my MVP for my team right now, I would say, is Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen has been like far and beyond what I thought he would be. I thought he would be a 14-point a week guy, just consistent, whatever. But my boy Keenan Allen has been straight balling. I mean, he scored 14 the first week, so I thought, bro, it's crazy, and he's old, right? And so Kyler could keep giving the shout out for the old guys. I'm not gonna old guys will whoop your tail. Just remember that, Kyler. But I think Keenan Allen, and even watching him play last night on prime time, made me realize that Herbert really only has eyes for him. So I like that. That's been nice.
Yeah, Keenan Allen is eating. He is the number 4 wide receiver in fantasy this year, which is remarkable.
Which is crazy because he's had his bye already too.
He has. Yeah, it's nuts. It's crazy. I mean, looking at your schedule, man, I looked at it before this interview, and I'm like, man, I mean, there is not too many teams out there, I think, that are able to beat you the rest of the way. I mean, obviously anything can happen. You got one more matchup in Week 13 with Mets, Princess the Dentist, but the next 3 weeks, you got myself, you got JT, and you got Frank before you head into a matchup in Week 10 with Jordan.
Yeah, I can't wait to beat Frank. I just can't wait to beat him. I just really want to beat him bad. Like for everything pent up, I just want to destroy his team. And,
he has been a bit of your boogeyman over the past few years. Yeah, and
this
year, I don't think you got anything to worry about this year, man.
Yeah, I don't think so. That would be embarrassing. I'm not gonna lie. That would be pretty embarrassing. I think my matchup against Jordan, I was looking at Week 10. I got a lot of buys that week, so Jordan was my toughest match so far, Week 1, and I think he'll probably be my toughest match. Not to overlook the other guys, you included, but come on, I'm not worried. Sorry.
I mean, it's all right. You can say what you want, man. Talk about my team.
Yeah.
It's not been great.
To be fair, it really has little to do with your team. It's just I guess a little bit, bro. The injury bug has kind of killed you, and I don't really see you having a shot this week, to be honest. And so
I don't either.
Love you, JB. I love all you do for the league, but I have all intent on whooping your behind this week, so, and putting it to you. So I'm not gonna let up on my boys. I figure worst case scenario, if I play CMC and he doesn't play, I could put in Cam Akers, and I think I'll still be fine. So that's just telling you how I feel about this.
Man, that hurts. That hurts, man. God dang it, it hurts to hear that. Oh man, I'm not gonna lie to you, but I mean, obviously, it's not looking good for me this week. And then you got JT and Frank, so I think it even gets easier from there. To be honest with you, where do you see yourself at the end of the season? Like, is this the year Prince Family Paper? Like, is this the year you go all the way?
Yeah, that's the hope. That's the goal. Obviously, anything can happen in the playoffs because it's like, you never know if somebody gets hot or if somebody gets injured. I think if I stay healthy, if my team stays healthy, I've been looking at the schedule ahead of time. I think I could take it, as long as, I don't think DJ Moore is going to have another 50-point game. And hopefully he just doesn't against me. Anything is possible with Achane and he's got Jamar Chase. I really feel like it's a two-man game. But also, Nate's team is kind of whatever, I think Jordan's team is just really consistent. And so, but, it's consistent, but I don't believe his team is strong enough to beat mine at full speed, at full strength. So, man, honestly, I do believe, this is my year, honestly. And
Jordan's team is wildly consistent. I mean, he had another week this week where every guy on his team went double digits except one. So,
right.
I mean, that is the strength of his team.
Right. He's consistent 140 to 160, but I don't think 140 to 160 is enough to beat my team. So,
well,
and that's just where I'm at.
I mean, I don't disagree with any of the things you just said. So, with that being said, Lance, as we wrap up this interview, got any messages, anything you want to say to the league, either generally or any one specific owner? It's your chance.
Oh yeah, yes. So I thought about this. I felt, it's like we were talking about talking junk in the league today, and Mr. Poop. Come on, man. I'm not gonna call out Mr. Poop. I ain't gonna call out Threat Level Midnight. I really don't want to call out Crennis to Dennis, honestly, because I have respect for his team and everything else. I'm not gonna call you out, even though I do. I think I've done enough already. I think I'm gonna handle you well this week. And Uncle Creepies, I mean, they're a joke. Come on, they're a joke. He can't even get an office team name. He's a joke. His whole team is a joke. They call me Toby. Toby is who he is. We don't expect much from Toby.
Toby.
Sits
Where you
in
at,
the
man?
back. The Hay Kings, and respect for the Hay Kings, but bruh, this is the year I overcome my streak of losing to you. But it's really, honestly, that's Dallas. Like, what Kyler is always running his mouth. He's always got something to say. And it's really more so about our bet because, I cannot wait to see him in a DeAndre Swift T-shirt and watch him because I know he's seeing my record go up and his go down. He got lucky this week that he beat you. Because he needs every win he could get because he knows that I'm going to clinch that playoff berth very quickly. Even if I lose one of these next 3-4 games, I mean, he's pretty much out of it. And I cannot wait to see him because DeAndre Swift, I love DeAndre Swift on my team. He's having a good year, but let's just be real. The dude is a bonehead. I mean, he's benefiting from being in a system, and he's not that good. He fumbled this week. I mean, and just to see him wear this loser 0 jersey.
It does have the 0 with my back.
Yes. Yeah. And, and it's going to be nice to see that post because having to wear that Dallas Cowboys hat last year was embarrassing enough. To see him wear the DeAndre Swift T-shirt and post about it with his face shown, I cannot wait to see that. So that's Dallas. You're going to get what's coming to you, bro. It's coming hard. And I hope – do we get to play again? I haven't even looked at the schedule to see if I get to play him again. I hope – it would be nice if that was the ceiling win. That sealed it. But I didn't look ahead enough. I've been kind of busy to kind of see his schedule.
You play in week 12 before you get
it's going to be over by then. It's going to be over by then. That's Dallas. And I'm looking at I see it now, week 12. So my projection that week is 161. His is 108. He's scrounging around for players. I just traded him a player. It helped him beat you. But
thanks,
he's
I really
hurt.
appreciate that, man.
Sorry, man. But he's hurt now. And so I want it to be known that I did everything in my power to help this dude to even try to own up to this bet and win this bet, and he still can't do it. And so I want nothing more than to see him because he is the biggest smack talker in our league. He came into this league talking junk, and I just cannot wait to see him post what he needs to post and lose this bet. So that's for you. That's Dallas, Mr. Kyler. I got you.
Ooh, man. Well, you heard it here, Kyler. I don't know what you're going to do about that. But
he can't do that. His team sucks.
Oh God, Lance,
how much did he spend on Amari?
$791.
Bro,
$790 or $791. One of the two.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Anyway.
Yeah, man. It's I can't say nothing. I just lost, so I'm gonna be quiet. But I appreciate it. Thank you, Lance, for the time, man. Prince family paid for 6-0.
That's right.
Doesn't appear to be stopping anytime soon. Thank you, Lance, for the time. Have a great day, man.
You too, bro.
All right, man. See you.
Right.
What if the owner of Prince Family Paper has a beautiful daughter and we have to seduce her in order to get their secrets?
I will seduce her.
No, I want to seduce her.
I'll seduce her.
Let me seduce her.
No,
Michael,
no,
please.
no.
Can I
I got
seduce her? You'll fall in love with her.
Yeah. So what if I did? That would take precedence, and I would expect your support.
Okay, so let's go over the plan again.
All right. I am a local business owner. I need to buy paper. I find out everything about their prices and policies.
Your fictitious name?
Michael Scarn.
Good. I am a paper salesman looking for a new job. I find out everything about their expenses and salaries.
Okay.
Then we meet at the Denny's and we compare notes.
No, I never said Denny's. IHOP.
No.
IHOP.
I said
We're
Denny.
going
You
to
know
IHOP.
how I feel about IHOP.
Don't start. Don't. You know what?
Socialist.
I don't want to get into this debate again. In nature, there's something called the food chain. It is where the shark eats the little shark, and the little shark eats the littler shark, and so on and so on and so on until you get down to the single cell shark. So now, replace sharks with paper companies, and that is all you need to know about business. Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
How can I help you?
My name is Michael Scarn. I am a local business owner, and I would like to find out about your company.
Please come in.
Thank you.
What kind of business are you in?
We're a law firm.
I assume your primary paper needs are stationery, general office.
You know, I'll be honest with you about something. Where I used to live, our paper supplier had a lot of big clients, and I just didn't feel like a priority. So I guess my question to you would be, how many clients do you have?
About 80.
Really? That many? This doesn't seem like a very big operation.
Well, it's just me, my wife, and my son.
Ah, so when did you set up shop?
Well, I opened this place after I came back from Vietnam.
Ooh, Vietnam, I hear it's lovely.
Nothing can stop me. I'm all the way up. All the way up. I'm all the way up. I'm all the way up.
All the way up this week. Congrats to Mr. Lance Batiste, Prince Family Paper. Just killing it this season. Starting to become, along with Pat Wishon, a regular in this part of the recap, as this is now your, I believe, my math serves me correct, fourth time in this segment of All the Way Up with a score of 176.32 points. You killed it, man. Your top scoring team this week, as you got big performances from nearly everyone on your team. Lamar Jackson didn't kill it, but 17 points. DeAndre Swift, 17 points. Drake London, coming out party perhaps, 21 points. Cooper Kupp, 28. Travis Kelce, just so consistent, 22 points. And then, of course, Keenan Allen, as you said in your interview, crushing it this year. Even CMC went out with an injury, scored 14 points on the day. Congratulations to you. Let's head into the individual performers. Top 3 scorers in each position for week 6. Starting at quarterback, like we do each and every week, is a guy who has not even cracked the top 10, much less cracked the top 3. But here he is, Dak Prescott, the top scoring quarterback. Frank's team, Uncle Creepy's, in a rare Uncle Creepy's appearance in the top 3 players in each position and all the way up segment. But here he is, 25.9 points. Nothing flashy or special, but those rushing numbers definitely helped him as he rushed for a touchdown and 40 yards as well as throw for 1, no turnovers, gets it done. Tua Tagovailoa, James's threat level midnight quarterback, coming in number 2, just 0.4 points behind Dak at 25.5 points. And then rounding out the top 3, Jared Goff, Jordan's the Hay Kings at 25.4 points, 0.1 points behind Tua. He goes 353 in the air, 2 passing touchdowns for Jared Goff. So 2 of those guys are regulars at this point, is Jared Goff and Tua. So James and Jordan getting quarterbacks as well as Frank. And very interesting this week in the quarterback spot. In the running back, the top running back scorer of the week, also the top scoring player of the week, Raheem Mostert, Miami Dolphins running back, going 3 catches, rushing for a touchdown, going 115 yards, 17 receiving yards on 3 catches, 35.2 points. Quentis the Dentist running back. He is followed by, oh, that's right, another Quentis the Dentist running back, Travis Etienne of my Jags. 23.3 points, having a fantastic year. The number 3 running back on the season, followed by, he's right after Raheem Mostert, who's the number 2 running back on the season. So number 2 scoring running back on the week, followed by Kyren Williams, the newly acquired, that's Dallas running back, Kyler's running back, with 21.8 points. It's worth noting that Matt's team, Quentis the Dentist, had 3 of the top 4 scoring running backs this week. On to wide receiver. These guys are all regulars. These are loyal members of the top scoring players of the week segment. Tyreek Hill, number 1, 31.3 points. He can't be stopped. The man is on a mission. He is the number 1 player, number 1 wide receiver in fantasy football, followed by Amon-Ra St. Brown, 30.4 points on the day, 12 catches, 124 in the air with a touchdown. And then finally, I'm sorry, that was JT's. They call me Toby, wide receiver, number 2. Number 3, Cooper Kupp, Lance's Prince family paper, in the 3rd spot with 28.8 points, just edges out Adam Thielen for that 3rd spot, only 0.3 points behind Cooper Kupp. Lastly, on the tight end, tell me if you've heard this before. Travis Kelce, 22.4 points on the day for him, outscoring the next best tight end by over 8 points. And that next best tight end is Dalton Schultz, Jake's Mr. Poop tight end, with 16.1 points. And Kyle Pitts, his first time in this segment, in the number 3 spot, my tight end, 14.3 points. It is worth noting that Jonnu Smith was the next highest scoring tight end of the week. So 2 Falcons tight ends in the top 4 tight end scores of week 6. And that is our recap for the week. Boys, I hope everyone is doing great. I hope everyone is healthy and doing well. Congratulations to those teams who picked up wins this week. That is Kyler, Matt, Lance, Nate, and Jordan, all picking up dubs for week 6. Quick announcement or housekeeping. This will be the last week. Week 7 will be the last week before the taxi squad opens up to have claims be put in. The claims will work exactly like they did last year. If you were not here or do not recall how that worked last year, to put an official claim in for a player on someone else's taxi squad, you must write in on the Sleeper app, in the chat on the Sleeper app, that you are claiming said player. So, for example, Threat Level Midnight is claiming Desmond Ridder off of my taxi squad. You have 24 hours to either activate him or let him go. At that point, if your player has been claimed, you have 24 hours to either trade that player, activate that player from your taxi squad to your active roster, or let them go to the team who made the claim. That starts in week 8 on Tuesday of the week 8 of the season. So this next week is the last week where we will not have claims be allowed for the taxi squad. Congratulations to the 8 owners still left in the Survivor Pool contest. And best of luck to everyone out there. We will talk soon. Have a great week, everybody.
Who them girls you be with when you be rules and shake fools while I'm taking the cruise. Tell me who.
What do you think having a 37-year-old?
We're on to Cincinnati. It's nothing about the past, nothing about the future. It's right now we're preparing for Cincinnati.
Okay,